Hello everyone and welcome to the shop. Today, Tontos. So the first step after getting my CAD model back from water jetting will be to rough grind the bevels. Now, when rough grinding bevels on a blade, it's very important to mark a center line. Some people do it by eye, and depending on your level of experience it works, but it's a lot easier and it will yield a better result if you just mark the center lines. So what I've done is I've taken Dykem steel blue and I've run it along all the surfaces that I plan on turning into the edges of a bevel. And after the Dykem's dried, I've taken a pair of calipers, measured out half of the stock width of the blade, and then scored that along either side to create one nice, neat, exact center line. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the grinder and start to grind it out. So the general idea when grinding this or any other blade would be to keep the edge at about 45 degrees to the belt. Once you've ground to the center line on one side, adjust your angle slightly downward to bring the bevel up as high as desired. Today we're going to be going for something about like this. Pro tip! Well, this isn't really a pro tip, more of an anyone tip. Don't forget to wear a mask when you're grinding metal or any other materials. Now we're going to put a HAMON on this blade. And in order to prep for the refractory cement to go on the blade before we heat treat it, we need to do a lot of hand sanding. So I'm going to take it from the 120 grit belt that we ground it with all the way up to about 12 to 1500 before I put it in the forge for heat treating. So let's get started. Well, just finished hand sanding the blade. Never want to do that again. For this next step, we'll be claying the spine of the blade for a HAMON line. For this step, we'll be using something the cool kids like to call Satanite. I was just letting the steam waft. Alright, we've gotten the Satanite on our blade. Now it's time to harden it. Alright, so we've hardened and tempered the blade, as well as having hand sanded off most of the Satanite. Now I can already start to see where the softened spine is meeting the hardened edge of the blade, but in order to really make that pop, we're going to dip it in acid for a few minutes. Now I'm using a 2-to-1 mixture of ferric chloride and plain white vinegar. Alright, took the knife out of the acid. As you can see here, the HAMON is really starting to pop. Now it's time for a handle. Well, thanks for coming along with me. I learned a lot doing this project, and I hope you did too. Bye.